My uncle who's not related by blood used to always tell me, hey, let's hang out with nobody else there and just you and me, and I'll give you candies. And you know me, y'all, I love my sweets.
I love my sweets.
So I can't say no to sweets, y'all.
He'd always call me his little sweet tooth for how many sweets I'd eaten. My little sleepyhead sweet tooth.
And my uncle, who's not related by blood, used to FaceTime call me at like 2 or 3 in the morning when I was in high school.
How's my little sleepy sweetie pie doing?
You know me, y'all, I can't say no to sweets. I can't say no, y'all. It is what it is, y'all. Hashtag grateful, y'all. Can't say no to sweets.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Pocket full of candy. Hashtag blessed.
Picturing like Beth from Dog the Bounty Hunter. Pocket full of Sour Patch Kids. Hashtag blessed, y'all.
Hashtag blessed.
Can't say no. Am I coming in way too loud? Is it because I'm screaming?
You know what? Actually, it's fine.
It's actually cool.
I've noticed that every time I try and make in-episode adjustments, I make it worse.
I see.
It'll be like fine.
Yeah.
And I'll futz with the camera and be like, well, let me just fix that. And then it'll be all fucked up afterwards.
It's because we care so much.
Yeah.
It's because I care, y'all.
Hashtag blessed.
hashtag blessed and not molested, y'all.
In this huge, fat, big pocket full of, like, wet caramels.
A pocket full of, like Swiss Chalet used to do worms and dirt.
Yeah.
You have, like, pudding with gummy worms in your pocket.
Just this big wet, like, dripping stain.
Like, crumbled up Oreos and pudding with gummy worms in your pocket.
Just reach into my pocket and grab some kibbles and bits.
I always keep some nuts and bolts in my pocket so my grandkids can have a treat.
My custom nuts and bolts recipe.
My grandkids that I'm like 22 years older than, they can have a treat. I love I'm 22 years older than my grandson, and I love to give him a treat. He's so smart, y'all. He's always my grandson's he's what you would call a tinkerer, y'all. This kid's always tinkering with stuff. He's always putting squirrels in the microwave. Learning.
Doing science experiments and stuff.
He's always learning stuff, y'all. He's clever, y'all.
But he loves to reach into my big Ziploc bag and my custom nuts and bolts. My secret's I put chocolate pudding in.
It's called the Meemaw's Nuts and Bolts. It's just a Ziploc bag full of pudding.
Pudding and like pretzels and gummies and stuff.
You're just bare hand grabbing a handful of pudding and candy. That's my grandson. He's a tinkerer, y'all. He's gonna grow up to be a mechanic or something.
Yeah. We call him the family genius.
It's some little like
dirty, smelly looking kid.
Little like toad kid with like eyes looking in different directions. He's got motor oil all around his mouth. Yeah. Oh no, y'all. Llewellyn just drank the motor oil again. He thought it was Grandma's nuts and bolts. Oh no, y'all. We gonna have to call an ambulance. Uh-oh, y'all. Llewellyn. I love white trash families that are white with black names.
Yeah, Laverne.
Laverne, yeah.
My nephew Laverne, no relation.
This is my son Montez.
Ladarius.
This is my son Ladarius Washington. It's just a fat white kid.
Yeah. One with like Picasso painting ass features. One eye.
Yeah. A nose that's just a circle.
We call him the family genius, y'all. He figured out how to use a belt all on his own. He figured out he was actually too fat for belts and figured out suspenders would be better.
He's so clever, y'all. He just started taping his pants to his chest so they wouldn't come down. Just started taping his damn pants to his chest, y'all, and now they don't come down.
Well, he has the family, the Washington family orbular build. When he was born, I was so proud of his mama. That was a 22-pound baby. He was born 26 pounds.
Y'all, when I tell you this kid was built like a tire, I mean it. He was roughly the size of a Toyota Corolla tire.
48 pounds of pure love.
He came out, he was 6 years old. He was born at 4.5 years old. And my son, he was what they call post-mature.
Post-mature.
He was born roughly 4.5 years old. 64 pounds.
64 pounds. He had to start shaving after 2 weeks, y'all.
He was born within 2 weeks. This kid was in kindergarten, I swear to God.
But he still loves his grandma's kibbles and bits.
Going up to kindergarten, you were born 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You're 4.5, you were born 2 weeks ago. What the hell's wrong with Lavelle? He don't know nothing.
He was just cozy up in there.
To be honest, we didn't know for the first 2 years his mom was even pregnant. We couldn't even tell, y'all. She just was keeping him in there. He was kicking and scratching, but she couldn't tell that from her damn IBS, y'all.
And she was, drinking, smoking, getting into all sorts of other trouble, y'all. But our little blessing, LaDante, it actually didn't affect him none at all.
It actually made him a genius. That's what the doctor said.
Look how big his head is.
He said he was in the 100th percentile, so that means he's 100% smarter than everybody. They said without his mama drinking, he wouldn't be there. So, pretty sure.
I think it's like the whole time she's telling her friend the kid is just totally immobile in a chair.
The kid looks like the Margaret Qualley at the end of The Substance.
Extra, arms and shit.
He's a genius, y'all. I tell you, he's got superpowers or something.
I can just tell when I look into his various eyes.
Sometimes he'll start barking. I know it's about to rain. For real. He'll start barking. I tell you, it's about to rain.
Yeah, he always gets real itchy when something bad's about to happen. But good thing Grandma's here to rub him down with his lotions.
Here's the way she lights him a cigarette and then the mouth on the top of his head. There you go. Calm down. Calm down.
Calm down, LaDontrell.
LeVar. Yeah.
Lavarius Jackson.
Oh, man. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
Nice to be here.
Bonus episode.
Yeah, this is not episode 200.
No, certainly not.
We wouldn't do it so unceremoniously.
Yeah, no, this is, just a bonus.
Yeah.
199.2.3, something like that.
We'll see, because we got something cool planned.
Break it out of the boot.
Hey, foot guys are going crazy right now. Yeah. Guess how? Do you think this is water? Nah. This is fat girl sweat.
You were to a buddy's house and every one of his cups.
This was the only cup that didn't have toes.
Well, I have that big display case with all my boot cups.
Yeah, well, I chose this one because this was the only one that didn't have toes covered in saliva.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's probably the safest cup to grab.
Yeah, just take little photographs of girls' feet when they're foolish enough to wear sandals around me.
And model.
Yeah, feed them into like a CAD program.
Yeah. You're doing like custom glass blowing in your garage. Yeah. Your hands are all burnt. And then women, like those same women come over and they're like, those look familiar.
Yeah.
The toenails are painted.
Yeah. And they're all, wet. Mysteriously wet.
Holding a foot cup while like trying to mysteriously swirl this amount of like whiskey in a foot cup. Trying to look like sophisticated with a big foot cup of whiskey.
With a whole bottle full of whiskey in a foot cup.
11 shots of whiskey in a foot cup.
Yeah.
Indeed. But yeah, guys, this is not episode 200.
No, we just chilling, y'all.
We just hanging out, y'all.
We can't do voices this early on in an episode, or else I'm just so tempted just to slip right on back into that one, y'all.
Me and my uncle, who is not related,
my not blood related uncle,
who would hang out with me solo a lot. He was actually sick.
He'd always call me up and say, "Hey there,
What do y'all do? Is your family home?
Y'all's family home?
I'd say, no. He'd say, I'm coming right over then.
I'll be right over. I tell you what, I got a pocket full of candy.
I always left Uncle Brick's house with a pocket full of treats. I'll tell you what. God rest his soul.
That's where I got my sweet tooth.
God rest his soul. He was killed by a big group of Mexican guys a couple years ago. God rest his soul. He was slain on the bus by a big group of Mexican guys. So God rest his soul, Uncle Brick.
God rest his soul.
Uncle Brick.
Uncle Brick.
Not related to me or anything.
Not related.
No.
You know, in Southern culture, we refer to all of our older male friends as uncle.
And it's common, y'all, to grow up down south and have a much older, unrelated man hang out with you a lot.
Most nights, in fact.
Basically every night. And he'd walk me home from school and stuff and say, don't tell your parents.
He was always giving me rides, buying me treats, taking me to picture shows.
Buying me outfits and whatnot. Getting me all sorts of cool outfits, like this big cow costume I still have. This big, huge cow costume I still
buy
got.
me all sorts of pretty dresses. He's a big, fat guy.
He bought me this damn Minion costume, y'all.
My assless Minion costume. All the various costumes are assless.
Assless cow. He got me this one costume. It's just straight up a barrel, y'all.
Well, that was one of our favorite games to play, Milk the Cow.
You know, the cow that produced the most milk always got a big old pack of Jolly Ranchers. You know, I was good for that.
Yeah, I would dress up as the cow. He would dress up as the cow. Kids these days, they just don't it.
They're doing all sorts of other stuff online on TikTok and stuff. They're
on Discord and things.
They're using stuff on TikTok, finding out about Islam and shit like that. I look at my daughter; she's reading about Islam right now. I'm telling
Islam on the TikTok.
I'm telling her we got to find you an uncle or something, darling, because you cannot be reading about Islam.
I've been posting on Craigslist looking for an uncle for my niece.
You know where I'd be if I spent my whole childhood reading about Islam? I'd be probably in Iraq right now.
Yeah,
married to some animal guy.
Reading about Islam on Chinese TikTok.
Yeah, right. Couldn't be me.
Bull crap to that. Yeah, we do have to do something about China, man. I'm down. My investments are red.
No, they'll be fine. They'll bounce back.
Yeah.
The only people that are going to suffer from what China did is like guys who deserve it.
What did China did?
So, from what I understand, there's that guy Sam Altman, the AI guy.
Yeah.
The open AI guy. He'd been like for the last couple of years kind of convincing everyone in Silicon Valley that AI is like it needs its all